Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I will be showing my 2026 Thor Chateau. It's been a quite popular RV due to its size and pricing, which they haven't had this in quite a few years. I am by no means an expert in RVs. I just hope that this video helps others and first time RV buyers. I did a lot of research. There are various videos on this model showing lots of good, but in my video I will be concentrating more on the bad. I will be showing you guys a little bit of my journey in this RV and some of my time with it. I will be talking about if this is worth your money and why I decided to buy this and why I believe that you shouldn't. So to cut to the chase, this RV is not worth buying. I decided to buy this RV because I am in the film industry and I filmed my first movie and I plan to film a horror movie with this RV. So I did a lot of research, and here is a channel called Liz Amazing, which covers the horrors of people's experiences with their new RVs. So definitely check out her channel. They're definitely good videos and definitely stuff to consider when purchasing an RV and if it's worth the headache in the long run. As I mentioned before, I filmed my first movie, and an RV would have definitely helped me stay overnight on sets, and I lost lots of filming time because of it. That is one of the reasons I decided to get this RV, knowing that it will definitely fall apart in a few short years. As I mentioned, I plan to use this RV and make a film out of it, so hopefully I will be able to make my money back on this investment. My first movie, which is called Horror in a Western Town, is now streaming on TUBI, so if you guys want, please check it out, show some love and support. And here are a few shots from the movie. It's about some crazy psychotic cowboys that terrorize their victims at sundown. So please check it out, streaming now on Tubi for free. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video. The pros. Just a few pros. I really like the fact that it is small, it's easy to drive, and very easy to park. I really love the dinette seating with the windows, and it has good towing capacity. Now here comes the cons. There are a lot more cons than there are pros. So here are the cons. Horrible gas mileage, which I will show you guys later. Quality control, it's definitely overpriced. It has this thunderous road noise and rattle, which I will show later. It has very low storage areas. It has very weak AC and really cheap materials. And here comes some more of some cons. Now on the financial side, this is my payments. $700 at 240 months. 500 goes for the interest, $200 goes for the principal. So if you never purchased an RV, this is what you are looking at. So consider that if you want to be in something for that long and wasting a lot of your money. Like I said, I hope to make this back on making a film out of it. So yeah. First thing I want to show you guys is the lighting on the awning. And no, the RV does not come with the red light. That's just my own tube light. But I really wanted to show this in case people were interested. And there's a light underneath the step here, which I do like. It has like a bluish, kind of whitish light. There's also a light inside the step here. Let me adjust this. And there's a light in there as well. It's not that bright. Here is the pass-through storage, and here's the lighting. If you can see here, I have a Big 5 chair, which is not that big, and it kind of takes somewhat of space, so there's really not that much space here. And here is the lighting on top of the cab, just below, which these lights only turn on when you open the doors. And here you go. They're really not bad at all. I kind of like them. Provides enough lighting. And there is more lights there. And here is the inside cab. This is one thing I do not like. This is the only light inside the cabin here. So if you want some lighting here, you have to open these doors to get those lights to go off. Other than that, it is really dark, and that's something I really do not like. Here's the backup camera, has full night vision. It's actually a lot clearer than it looks on camera. but it's definitely pretty clear and it definitely shines pretty bright there. Kind of spooky here. And here is the inside, a little bit more lighting. Here's the stove. The blue lights really do nothing. It's just for show. It's a little light underneath here. Just kind of want to show the lighting on this RV. It's a little blue LED. Now, one of my first trips was I went to the theater to get some I Know What You Did Last Summer merch, which I went to go watch. And here I am picking up some merch. Still a lot left. And here I am going back to my RV. And there I am parked all the way out in the corner. And as you can see, it does fit on a parking spot. But these parking spots are a lot bigger, so you definitely won't have trouble. So here I am. And I walked all that. And here I am. Here's the dinette. There's the merch for I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is really cool. I really like this cup. Definitely awesome. And one thing I don't like is this table is just really, really wobbly. As you can see there. I don't like that. Now here I do like is this whole console does come out. So if you wanted to take that off for more leg room or whatever, you can definitely pull that out and you will have more space. So I do like that in this aspect. And one thing I don't like, if you're kind of tall, this is like pretty much the only way to have the seat, and gets very uncomfortable very fast, especially on your back. So somebody tall will definitely not like this seating at all. So consider that. Now here is the shower, and I'm gonna play this video real quick, and definitely has a lot of RV rattle and shaking. All this stuff was just falling out of the medicine cabinet. So I'll definitely show you guys right now what it sounds like. Okay, now after that drive, it was just horrendous noise and rattle. Everything was falling out of the medicine cabinet, so that was definitely pretty annoying. I really do not like that. For such a small RV, it just vibrates really bad. And it is so loud. The slightest bumps just, I mean, it just sounds like this thing is falling apart. I did have a few passengers and they all complained about having a headache after the drive, so consider that. And this is something I did see in another video in comments, something about the shower. So here I definitely dropped a little bit of water without the shower curtain. I didn't want to do too much. And here it goes. And then sure enough, it does slip out. And that was just a little bit. So if you have passengers and they do not know and they shower and all this water comes out, it's definitely not going to be good. I can definitely see that thing rotting out real fast. And I could definitely see how the water can get into that outlet. And here is the drawers, because my next destination, I went to Michael's. I bought some paint so you guys can see what the drawers look like and the spacing. Now, mind you, after all that rattling, this magnet thing here just fell off. It completely came apart from how bad the rattling was. So I had to super glue it back on. And that was just not cool at all. So here we go. And there's the spacing for the drawer. And mind you, this is just me in this RV. I really would recommend 2 people or more. You're definitely going to run out of space. And one thing that's not good is the spacing here on the table. If you're kind of big bellied, you're going to have a hard time getting in and out of that table. I think I've already loosened it up for squeezing in. So that's definitely something to consider if you're a little bit on the heavier side. Not fun at all. And always inspect your RV before you drive off. It's something I didn't do on this part. As you can see here, it was completely broken. It's not really broken, but just like they took the screws out. And here's what it looks like inside. Some of the plumbing. There's the pump. So it was too late to let them know about this because I had already taken delivery of the RV. So definitely check your stuff. They definitely try to rush you out. And here we go. Now here's a sink. Here's some quality control. I did see a few of these RVs, and a lot of them did have the seal around here, the caulking that was clear, but in mine here did not have it. So they definitely skipped on that. As you can see here, water's definitely gonna slip through that. So definitely look for these things if you're buying this RV. Some had it, some didn't. And there's water in there. That's normal. And here is a little bit of the spacing in the top cabinet. Um, as you guys can see, kind of the spacing. I have two towels there, a little box, some plates. As you can see, it's not really a lot of storage. You'll definitely fill that up really, really fast. Something to consider as well if you plan to have more than two people. You're going to get tight really quick. And from all the driving and the rattling, the first thing to break, I believe, was my curtain here. The blinds, it just completely fell apart. And it is not working. I tried fixing it, not sure how. But yeah, there it is from all the rattling. Definitely very annoying. And here we have one of the reasons why I do like this RV is this dinette seating and the windows. You can look out. And I'm here in the parking lot of Michael's after I bought some of the paints. And here I am just chilling. The generator is on. I am blowing the AC. And my next destination was Lowe's. I went to Lowe's. As you can see here, the parking definitely does fit in the parking spot. I was a little back, so because I've seen guys in trailers come by and do a turn, so I stayed a little bit back. But as you can see, you do kind of fit. You would stick out a little bit if you went a little forward or a little back. And here was my trip to Target. Their parkings were a little bit short, so I had to park a little bit far down, as you can see here. So definitely didn't necessarily fit in a parking space. So it really depends on the lot. So here I am. I had to just go right in the middle, but definitely was kind of fun. And here's some more storage. Here's the drawer, and like I said, it's just me in this RV. I have three shirts here, three tees, one pair of shorts, and my towel, and that space is gone. So now consider this, as I mentioned, if there's two plus more people, and I have the two pillows here that I got from Target and two blankets, and I pretty much filled this side up on this corner, and that's just me. So if you have two people, you're gonna really fill up pretty fast. So this RV might be a little too small for a lot of people. Here's more of the storage out compartment. Already getting a little bit tight. So as I mentioned, I believe this RV is good for 1 to 2 people. Anything more and it's just too tight. And one thing I noticed, this RV was just always hot. So I bought this little temperature gauge meter and I tested the temperature inside the RV. And as you can see, it was very hot. And I just kept noticing it was just hot no matter how much I ran that AC. So I definitely tested this and it's definitely very accurate. As you can see here, this is inside my house. So I went back after running the AC for 2.5, almost 3 hours. It reached 80 degrees and it was still kind of hot. So I was a little disappointed for how small the RV is, and the AC does not cool down at all. It was just still too hot. I did test it up on top and it did read just at the 70 degrees. So I said, something's wrong here. So I started looking around because it was just still too hot. And here's an area by the side door that a little bit, it's not really sealed off, but I did notice some heat, air was coming in through this part right here. So quality control on that part. So here we go. And this was inside the drawer. On the bottom drawer, I just decided to look back there. As you can see, they didn't even cut away the excess. And I thought I felt heat coming out from here, a slight gush of wind. So I definitely stuck my finger down right here. There's actually a little gap in between. There's a little space opening. So I poured a little bit of water down that little gap right in here. Can't really see it at this angle, but there's definitely space opened right here. So I dropped some water and there it is. It leaked out. So it's definitely kind of open right there, as you can see right here. Not good at all. It's definitely letting in heat. And here's a picture. The left side is where the water leaked out, and to the right is a little gap opening underneath. I definitely would not trust this RV driving in the rain at all. It will definitely let water inside. So I do not trust this in the rain. Quality control. And here we go. And I did see this in another comment, something about exposed wood by the drain pipes. This one's mine, and this is another RV that I've seen. As you can see here, there's a piece of broken wood, and that hole is open, doesn't have the cover, so I could definitely see water getting through. And you could see right there the wood exposure. That will definitely absorb water and definitely will rot out this portion of the flooring. And here is the back of my RV, the back corner. And just remember to check your RV before you take off. It was too late. And as you can see here, it's like kind of damaged, chipped off, some exposed wood. So I could definitely see this part of my RV rotting first. So I definitely have to cover this up, put some kind of sealant, but definitely check your RV before you take off. Here's another section, quality control. This is just taped up. Not even sure what this is, but it's just dangling there. And I just really don't have confidence in driving this RV in the rain here. Definitely all the RVs I saw of this were the same, if not worse. And here I am driving on this little hill. Had a friend following me. I did have two people in the back, and they're all complaining about having a headache from all the rattling of the RV, and they did not enjoy the ride one bit. So definitely take some passengers if you decide to buy this RV. Next thing I did notice was I really like ice, so I was testing the fridge. As you can see here, it's at 0 degrees, and after about, let's say, I would say, started to freeze here after being in the freezer for like 2 hours. I came back an hour later thinking I was going to find some solid ice. This is 1 hour later, and I noticed the temperature rose here. And I was quite shocked because I noticed this a few times. The consistency in the fridge was not there. And as you can see here, the ice started melting. So I'm not sure why the temperature went up, but I will definitely do not have faith in this fridge. So don't count on your food here. This was days later. I was testing the freezer again. And once again, it was just reading, it got really cold. So definitely do not count on that fridge. And here I am putting some gas, and I was gonna go visit a family member, and so I forgot to take the photo, but right here I'm at my last quarter, a little bit below the last quarter of the bar, and I'm putting gas here, and I put 9 gallons, $41. Now this gets very interesting. So this is when I put gas. Now mind you, the needle was just below the last quarter, and I went to visit a family member. They're about 17 miles away. So I did 17, so about 36, 37 miles. And this was my gas back. Now, mind you, it didn't go all the way down below the needle where I had put, but if you do the math, I got about 7 miles to the gallon. Now, these are rated at 12 miles to the gallon, but on an empty cab. So definitely consider the gas on this thing because it's definitely about 8 miles to the gallon. That is really bad. And after running the generator for a while, I noticed that the floor lifted off, as you can see here. And I started panicking, and I was like, wow, this thing is just really gonna fall apart within the month. So you can see here, the generator just generated so much heat. Now, the next morning I came back and looked, and it went back down. So it turns out that this flooring is not technically glued down, but it expands with extreme heat. So yeah, I kind of don't like that, but I guess it is what it is. So as you can see here, it's all back down. And I did take some video of the roof, but if you guys really want to see the roof, it does look okay. Definitely leave comments and I will put up a roof video. But this was my review on this RV, and I definitely have more stuff coming up. And here it is on my driveway. Here's the lighting again, and here I am in the RV playing my movie. So please check it out. It is live on TUBI. Show some love. But other than that, I hope this video helps you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.